Hey everyone, I wanted to share a quick video with you about the hanging brackets for primary turbos on compounds. So what we're looking at here is a Crazy Carl twin turbo setup, and it has a different style hanger than what we used on the Project Black Hole. You can see this blue hanger back here. It kind of forms what's basically a L shape that's then welded onto this support and is held on by the number 5 and 6 cylinder exhaust manifold bolts here. And then it goes down and it grabs right where the oil drain is. And this is different from what I used on the Black Hole. I made a mount that was more like stainless diesels, which it mounted on the bottom side of the hot side of the primary turbo, and it's very rigid, and there were some pros to it. The pros to the rigid stainless diesel type was that you basically, the only thing that's attached is the hot side of the turbo, so you can take the CHRA out, you can take the compressor wheel off, you can you can just basically take everything out of here, and you can undo everything while leaving that basic piping in place. Now, the benefit to using this Crazy Carl style mount is it bolts to the oil drain, which is holding your CHRA in place, but that means you can still take off the compressor cover, you can still access the front of it, and you can take off the hot side here, the exhaust housing, but the rest of it has to remain attached to that bracket. Now, the one thing that I really wanted to highlight with this video, which is what started me, excuse me, this is really what started me on this in the first place, is I wanted to show the gap here that we have on this Crazy Carl. And I wanted to tell you why this is important. With my stainless diesel, I spent hours and hours trying to make this thing match up perfectly because it's rigid and it's got nowhere to flex to. With this Crazy Carl style mount, you probably loosen up the oil drain mounts here, and then you'd have even more flexibility in this. But as you can see, if I hold this here and I get my hand on it, you can make this thing come right up there. So it has the ability to flex and meet, especially if I grab the compressor cover. Yeah, look at that. So it has the ability to flex over here. The V-band clamp can easily pull that in to match up with your secondary turbo exhaust housing. That is a serious plus because I have probably 6 hours in my stainless diesel type mount just in getting this thing to line up correctly. We're talking about welding, taking it off. It's off by maybe 10,000ths of an inch, and it would create drive pressure leaks, having to undo the whole thing, and then having to, to loosen all of the bolts up to shimmy things around. So when you're picking a hanger for your compounds, choose wisely. Kind of decide what you'd rather have. If you want one that's real rigid, that holds the exhaust, the hot side exhaust housing in place off of the lower bolts between 5 and 4, or whether you want more of the flexible style mount, the Crazy Carl style mount that goes off the top of 5 and 4 and holds from the oil drain area. Personally, if it were me and I had it if I had it to do over again, I would probably choose the flexible mount because I had so many issues with drive pressure. And I hope that's helpful, and I hope it gives you an idea, just kind of an overview of what these different styles of mounts actually look like and how that equates into the real world.